Hello, welcome back to another episode of Grade This Book. As always, uh, I try to focus on low to mid grade books in this series to help people learn how to grade at this level because the most difficult grade level is between 4 and 6, in my opinion. Some people may find that easy to grade in that range, but for me, it is the most difficult. That's why I didn't do tutorials, grading tutorials for the grade between 3, 4, and 5 because there are just too many different flaws and examples that it would be difficult to try to squeeze everything into a 10 minutes video. So at best, it is easier to do a bunch of these videos, and over times, hopefully I can highlight a lot of examples in the 4, 5, and 6 range that people can see why they are in those grades based on my opinion. Okay, all right, enough yapping. Here is a Spider-Man 50 from far away. Look at the front. What do you think? From far away, at this distance, if I see this, please notice you can see there's a crease that is like vertical, right? That could run about 4 or 5 inches. From the front, definitely not a 6, right? Let's zoom in. Okay, so you can see that flaw right there. It could be, I have seen Spider-Man 50 where it's a printer defects that give you that vertical line that does not break colors. Okay, I have seen it. So it could be one of the situation where that vertical line that you see right there is a printing defects and not a crease. Now, for now, let's assume that it is printing defects. Okay, I'm not going to count that, but still, you can see all the wears on the bottom edge, tears, corner creases, more tears and creases on the right edge. Okay, on the top for sure, another 1/2 inch corner crease. Now, before I move on, why do I estimate that to be 1/2 inch? For those that are familiar with books and dimension, usually this code right here that you see is roughly an inch. Okay, I'm not going to say exactly an inch, depend on the age of the book. For bronze, for copper, it's different size, but for silver, it's roughly an inch. Okay, this is one of the few techniques that I try to preach to people on how to estimate the size of the flaws. Is if you know the dimension of something on the cover, then you can gauge and compare. So if you look at this corner crease right here, right, it's roughly half the size of the length of this stamp. So that's how I jump to a quick estimate that it's about 1/2 inch. Let's move on. And then you see a lot of flaws and little creases at the overhang. The spine, plenty of issues, right? So yeah, let's jump back out. To me, the front, assuming that that's the production defects, that long vertical lines is not a crease. It looked like about a 5.5 as far as the front's concerned. Let's take a look at the back cover. Okay, so here's the back cover. The one thing that jumped out at me is these 2 tears on the back cover. If you go back to the earlier part of the video, there are similar tears on the front cover in about the same area. So I am wondering if the tears also is on all the pages inside. Okay, that's my concern. If it is, then you know it will knock the grade down a little bit, right? Instead of just the tears on the covers, back and fronts. But if it's also in the interior page, certainly that will impact the grade one level, in my opinion. Now, let's jump in. You can see that this is a color bacon crease. This crease is, what do you think? 1, 2, 3, at least 5 inch-ish, right? Yeah, see that tears right there, that concerns me. But as far as the rest of the back cover, not bad. Nothing that cannot be cleaned up, right? And straightened out, but can't do anything about that color breaking creases. So given that the front is about a 5.5 and the flaw that big, there's two creases, not just one. Okay, there's two of them, but there are at least 5 inch to 5.5 inch in dimension. What do you think? I let people vote. As always, click on the little eye on the top right of the screen. You should see the grade range that I provide, and I will give you what I think is my final grade on this book. Okay, based on what I see, and I'm just gonna assume that the interior of this books also have some tears on the bottom edge, because it's just not a coincidence that you have the flaws on the front and the back, and somehow the interior is void of any kind of issues. Okay, but even so, it's about half a grade. Okay, it's not like a big downgrade, but I will give this book a 4.0. Based on what I see here, I think it's a 4.0. Let's see what my comic shop give. I'm curious to see what people give. Alrighty, so my comic shop gave this book a 4.0. All right, I agree. I don't think I would not have a problem if somebody want to call this a 4.5, but I think 4 or 4.5 is about as good as this book can be. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.